Hello, greetings, greetings. How you guys doing? Uh, I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuned in here again. This is Comrade Funton Daniel. I want to take a moment to thank all of you. It's been amazing having all of you. I want to thank fellow amazing people of Southern Cameroon, people of Ambazonia. Uh, it has been a wonderful joy day, and I'm sure we want to take a moment to thank all of those in ground zero because we have to have a strong spirit, we have to have a strong demand, and we gotta move forward. So, but my question is the Federal Republic of Ambazonia and the United States government recognitions. I think it is the better way that we can move forward. But before we move whatever discussion we want to talk about, I want to thank all of you that are tuning in. If you hear in the United States, just briefly indicate below here in the United States. If you're in ground zero, just briefly indicate ground zero. If you are in Europe, briefly indicate you're in Europe. And if you are in Germany, or you want Germany to Europe, China, South Korea, South America, whatever you are, or you are entire continental state of your United States, or you are in Canada, wherever you are, I want to take a moment to thank all of you for all the sacrifice that you all have been made. You have either sacrificed one way or the other. But the good thing is that the sacrifice is for the liberty and freedom of the home we all love. We did not expect this until the colonial country La Republique declared war on our people. And I'm so proud of how you all respond aggressively. And we thank those in Ground Zero for the massive and continuous support that liberty is something that we must gain. Liberty is a freedom we must achieve. Liberty is for the people of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. So I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuning in. It is a blessing, and it is a blessing. And but my one point that I want to emphasize, United States. I want to take a moment to thank the United States government. I want to take a moment to thank my sincere thanks to the United States government. United States government has stood along us. United States government was assisting La Republique, the neighboring country, against the Boko Haram. But when this crisis erupted and the United States government realized that the equipment they were using sent to La Republic to use against the Boko Haram in the north were rather being converted to the people of Southern Cameroon. And United States respond drastically. And that is why I want to thank the U.S. Department of Defense. I want to thank the United States White House. I want to thank the State Department. I want to thank the U.S. Embassy in La Republique. I want to thank them because they respond aggressively. Said, no, we are not going to do this. We are not going to see other people suffering. Because you all know that in 1961 at the United Nations headquarters, when the vote were being deliberated, United States vote against the Southern Cameroon. The US CIA responds. The US CIA document well on the CIA about the people of Southern Cameroon. We are a distinctive people with a sovereign identity, sovereign boundary, and we must be recognized. So that is why I am here, emphasize the people of Southern Cameroon, that we are people of distinctive identity, invested in cultural heritage, and we cannot be consumed and assimilate by the neighboring country, La Republic. That is why I am here emphasize. And I am also emphasized to these wonderful, amazing people of these great nations, the United States. You know, I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuning in because we are on the path to freedom. We are on the path to freedom. There may be some people within our midst that are trying to create animosity, but however, we must stand strong. We must stand tall and we must expand our lungs against the enemy because the enemy can never overcome the people of Southern Cameroon. Fellow brothers and sisters, we are at war. We are at war. So I can assure you. I want to, as I'm thanking the United States, I want to make United States understand that I don't feel the Cameroonness that the Undersecretary for African Affairs at the U.S. State Department addressed that some people felt the Cameroonness. But I want to let the U.S. Secretary that I do not feel the Cameroonness. I felt a distinctive people of different culture, different self-identity, different heritage, and different value. And we believe in the rule of law. We, the people of Southern Cameroon, are not exceptionally than the United States. We believe in the rule of law. We believe in liberty. We believe in equality. We believe that the government is responsible on behalf of the people. We believe that the government can be questioned and that government has the ability to be accountable to his own subject. We don't believe in a government of brutality. We don't believe in a government that can arrest its citizens. We don't believe in a government of destruction. We believe in a government that has accountability on behalf of its people when they are called to order. And that has been a value that has been cherished by the people of Southern Cameroon. The people of Southern Cameroon has had a change of government, a change of leadership. La Republic has never, since its creation, has a change of leadership. First, Dr. Endele became the first Prime Minister of Southern Cameroon. And when he became the first Prime Minister of Cameroon, when he lost election, he became member of the opposition in the parliament, in the Southern Cameroon parliament. And so he didn't mind being a member of the opposition. Foncha became the next Prime Minister of Southern Cameroon, who was the first elected in entire West Africa. There was never a found democratic form of government in the entire West Africa, except the people of Southern Cameroon that exhibit that democratic form of government. So when Foncha lost power and he handed over to Ngumjua, and Ngumjua was very frankly speaking and became a subject of Amadou Ahidjo, and that he was eventually killed by Amadou Ahidjo, where he had Tende Muna, who became the soul out of the people of Southern Cameroon. But La Republic, since its creation, has never exhibited any form of change of leadership. Remember that the UPC, that was a potential party to stay and stand as a definitive for La Republic, was killed by La Republic. Was killed by the French mercenaries, France. The leader of the UPC in a neighboring country, La Republic, was a potential party that could have been the government of the neighboring country, La Republic du Cameroon. But France was completely against the UPC. France was completely against the UPC. And that is why France began what they call the guillotine. You all see what is happening in Southern Cameroon, where you see a head of an individual that were being chopped off. That is the practice of the French system, not the standard of the people of Southern Cameroon. That is not the justice of the people of Southern Cameroon. Our people believe in equality. They believe in oral argument against, put forward your point. And so we evaluate each of those points. whether there is a means of fallacy within the oral argument. So our people believe in oral argument, again, not the argument of force. And that has been the value of the people of Southern Cameroon. As I said again, you see those heads that were being chopped off and put in the street. Those are the behavior of La République. Those are the behavior of the French origin. Those are the behavior. You all know about Louis Philippe or Louis something of France. During the period of Louis the 15th or Louis the 14th, where a certain individual were being chopped off their head, and that was known as the guillotine. That was the guillotine that was instituted against the UPC in Douala, where a certain people of the Bamilekes origin their head were being chopped off by the French in the neighboring country, La République du Cameroun. That was the exhibit they began to perform in Southern Cameroon territory. That was the French exhibit that were beginning to perform in Southern Cameroon territory. But I am here to let the people of Southern Cameroon that we are free people, we are free at last, and that we are moving ahead with our freedom. I ask the United States government, I am asking the United States government to recognize the self-identity of the people of Southern Cameroon as a way moving forward. Because that is the only way we can move forward. United States must recognize the value and the self-glorified people of Southern Cameroon, that they have the right to self-determination, the right to freedom, the right to liberty, and the right to equality. And therefore, I am asking the United States government, it's time to recognize the people of Southern Cameroon. It's time to recognize the people of Southern Cameroon, that they have the right to existence. They have the right to liberty. They have the right to equality, and they have the right to be recognized as a people of self-identity. That is the minimum we are asking the United States government. That is the minimum. Recognize the people of Southern Cameroon as a people of self-identity, self-value, and can be moving. You all recognize, I want to first of all touch on the British government. We came to this mess. We came to this mess because the mess was naturally created by the British government. We came to this mess that many of our people are being killed. It's because of the British government that brought us into this mess. If the British government had their administrator that at the United Nations recognized the people of Southern Cameroon, we have been self-governing ourselves during the British administrator. They recognize that we can deliberate on our election without any bias, without any war, without any fighting. And the British should have recognized that we are people that are looking for our self-determinations. But they prevent us to recognize ourselves. They say we either join Nigeria or we join La République. We opted for our independence by joining Nigeria, or we opted for our independence by joining La République. And that is what brought us into this mess, that our people are being killed indiscriminately. Our mothers are being raped. Our children are being raped. Our brothers are being raped indiscriminately. But I am here to let La République know that the people of Southern Cameroon has risen, and that their sovereignty is not negotiable, and that we are sending this same message to La République, that our people are ready, and that they are ready for their freedom. Their freedom shall never be bargained by La République. We urge all those that have been sent by La République in Southern Cameroon, it's time to pack your luggage and leave. It's time to pack your luggage and leave the Southern Cameroon completely. It's time. It's time to pack your luggage and leave the Southern Cameroon completely. That is what we are asking those that have been assigned. If you are the military of La République and you are being assigned to the Southern Cameroon territory, you have a choice to decide. You have a choice to yourself. Either you take off the person that is giving you that decision to come to Southern Cameroon, or you take off the person that is giving that instruction, because we shall no longer recognize anybody from La Republic coming into Southern Cameroon to give any instruction. Fellow brothers and sisters, we are at war. The war is serious, and we must overcome this war. We are at war, fellow brothers and sisters. Take this clearly. We have got enough of this enslavement for the past 56 years. You all know some individual they call me John Frundi. You all know him. I do know him because I remember during the 80s when I fell at the back of a truck that we were demonstrating for a democratic government with La Republique. But unfortunately, we have a barrage of military that were sent to destroy us in Bamenda. I recognize those days. I recognize when I fell on a truck at the hospital roundabout. I fell and I had some bruises that took me some time to heal. And I still recognize that. I am sure Frundi did not recognize that I do have an accident that was during the launching. And up to date, La Republique has not recognized us as a distinctive people. But La Republique believe they can control our reach. Few days ago, you were heading to Sonara. That is in Southern Cameroon. Sonara is not in La Republique. It's in Southern Cameroon territory. You were going there to assess whatever it is. But the occupation divisional officer tell you cannot penetrate into your own home, your own territory, where they are foreigners in Southern Cameroon. And Mr. Nifrundi, I am here to remind you that it's time to recognize the people of Ambazonian defense system, that they are capable to defend the territory, and that you will be part of this movement to sustain and maintain the people of Southern Cameroon. That is the time they can move forward and recognize their sovereignty. And ask La Republique, it's time to go. It's time to go. Fellow brothers and sisters, it's time to ask La Republique, it's time to go. I asked Frundi, there are several instances. You remember when you joined the group in Douala that they were heading to Yaoundé to ask for Bia for liberty. You were blocked and access from Douala to Yaoundé. They don't recognize you as a people of La Republique, because La Republique is a sovereign nation. First, La Republique in 2016, the mayor of the city council of Yaoundé put a status which said that La Republique got its independence in 1960. In that status, does it indicate that Southern Cameroon exists? Obviously, you will agree with me that in that status, it doesn't indicate the people of Southern Cameroon exist. It shows that they have finished conquered the territory they have expected. But I am there to let the world understand that the people of Southern Cameroon will never be a conquered territory. The people of Southern Cameroon will never be a property of La Republique. Fellow brothers and sisters, we are at war. I can assure you, we are at war. The war is on, and that we must be prepared. We must be sacrificing our minds against the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroon. You all recognize the British were more focused. You understand the British foreign minister for African Affairs declared that the natural gas is going to produce more money, more wealth, benefit to the British Crown and the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroon. They don't see Southern Cameroon as a contender. So the property of the gas, the property of the natural gas is going to produce revenue for the British Crown and the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroon. That is why Frundi were blocked out from his own home territory, from even go there and inspect a land, a property that pertains to the people of Southern Cameroon. And neighboring country, La Republique, is blocking the people of Southern Cameroon to go and inspect their own property. Then I am here. I have a good news, Mr. Frundi. It's time to join the momentum. because it's time to jump the momentum. It's time to jump the momentum. Today again, in the neighboring country, La Republic of Cameroon, in Kondenge prison, in Kondenge, today in Kondenge, many of their things are being searched by the neighboring country military. Today is a chaotic scene in Kondenge today. It's a chaotic in the fact that prisoners find their property being seized, little money that have been given by their family, taken away by the neighboring country, La Republic military. I am urging the United States government. You will never see the United States government go and search property in the prison. Because they have their life. There should be some form of liberty for people, even if they are in jail. There must be some freedom and liberty. I just read the message that just put in front of the White House, written by President Donald Trump. It says, even people that have been rehabilitated, even people that have been trained, they don't have access to jobs. It is time to reform the justice system. Donald Trump was speaking about the United States, and that is a government that believes in liberty. It believes in equality, whereas the people of Southern Cameroon believe in the same value as the United States cherish. But in La Republic, they don't. It's the Francophones dynamics world system. They inherited from the French system. That is what they have. But the people of Southern Cameroon cannot live with La Republic. I urge the United States to recognize the people of Southern Cameroon as a distinctive sovereign nation. The people of Southern Cameroon has declared their sovereignty. And I urge the United States to recognize them as the way moving forward. Because we cannot live in this atrocity with the neighboring country, La Republic. We cannot. We cannot live. We have cultural differences. We have language differences. We have political differences. We have economic differences. We have educational differences. We have the rule of law differences. We have the rule of police force differences. We have military differences. In the total altogether, we have a lot of differences. So we cannot in any circumstances live together in harmony. So fellow brothers, we are at war. We are at war. We are at war. I can assure you. I want to thank the people of Manfe. I want to thank the people of Manfe. I want to thank them because we have risen. As we rise, we will fall no more. As we rise, we will not fall no more. As we rise, I want to take a moment to thank the people of Manfe that as we rise, we will fall no more. Let's stand together. Let's stand together. We stand together. The enemy will be easily to defeated. If we stand together as one people, it doesn't matter who has the battle stick. It matters who is our enemy. Because if you stand and we support each other, the enemy will find it difficult to penetrate us. But when we fell in disarray, because La Republic is doing the same, La Republic is ensured that the unity that has persisted within us for several times, should be disarray. But unfortunately, we are smarter than La Republic. So I urge our fellow brothers that call your brothers and apologize. Call your sister and apologize. Call everyone and say, I am sorry. Because we allow the enemy to take advantage of our disgruntledness and penetrate us, and that doesn't do us any good. Fellow brothers, we are at war. It doesn't matter who lead the battle stake. What matters is the people of Southern Cameroon is free from enslavement, free on the rotten net of La Republic. Fellow brothers, we are at war. I want to take a moment to thank all of you that are tuning in today. I will be coming up and I will be talking more. I want to take a moment to thank our brothers who are languishing in neighboring country, La Republic in Kondenge. I totally agree with you. I understand the pain you are going through. I understand the suffering. But however, freedom and liberty is coming. Freedom and liberty is coming to the people of Southern Cameroon. Freedom and liberty will never be in any distance. There's one nation that I used to congratulate, and that was Ghana. But I felt embarrassed when I see Ghanaian diplomat sending his diplomat to the neighboring country, La Republic of Cameroon. I worry about this newfound democracy that has prevailed in Ghana. Maybe it's on the point of collapsing. Because when I see the Ghanaian president sending his ambassador, his minister, to appreciate a terrorist in the neighboring country, La Republic, I kind of worry about the newfound democracy that has started prevailing in Ghana. It started because one person made a significant difference. That was J.J. Rawlings. J.J. Rawlings made a significant change to the Ghanaian government. And he did this for his own sake. Today, liberty has prevailed in Ghana. But today, that liberty is on the virtue of collapse because the current Ghanaian president is out of touch of reality. I am here to speak on behalf of that the people of Ghana. It's time to rise against dictatorship, because when he began to embrace the brutal dictatorship of Paul Biya, then I'm kind of worried the new leadership that the Ghanaian may have. We believe in a government of change of leadership, because when there is no change of leadership, anarchy prevails. When there is no change of leadership, it becomes an anarchism, and that anarchism can prevail. Africa is backward because we have a leadership crisis. We have leadership crisis. We have people that they hang on power and never want to relinquish power. But I am here, fellow young African generation. This is the moment that we take power and relinquish that anarchism that has prevailed in the entire continent of Africa. Imagine the Asian bloc is on advanced economic level, and yet Africa is still struggling. Fellow Africa, whether you are in South Africa, whether you are in Kenya, wherever you are, it's time to rise against anarchism, against those who claim that their power came from God. Nobody's power came from God. Everybody has aspired to become a leader of their sovereign nation, and not one single individual, not one single family. Rise, Africa, and relinquish all those anarchism. We must stand for liberty, freedom, and equality. That is why the United States is so advanced, because of liberty, freedom, and equality. We must rise. I want to thank all of you for watching. Wish you all a happy